We have a lot to discuss today, so do me a favor. Let me know what you think about everything down in the comments. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It's free. And listen, thank you to those who are subscribed. I know I've been saying that a lot lately, but you guys have been showing up, hitting that like button, commenting. You guys are the best subscribers out there. Like I'm not just saying that. Like I really, really do believe it. The support that this channel gets doesn't matter what time of year. It's always great. It's always amazing. And thank you guys so much. It really does mean a lot. So listen, let's get on with the Yankees here. And according to John Morosi, so this isn't according to John Heyman, who is a known Scott Boras guy. This is John Morosi. And according to him, the Yankees, Mets, Phillies, and Dodgers are all hot and heavy. They're all hot and heavy after Cody Bellinger. They all have significant interest in Cody Bellinger. Now, great for him, happy for him. He had a wonderful season for us last year. Another bounce back season for him. Over an 800 OPS, was a tremendous corner outfielder. His baseball IQ is a very high baseball IQ, right? Hit 29 homers, 98 RBI, basically a 30 homer, 100 RBI guy. Really good season. Loved having him here. And if he comes back, I'll love having him here. He's a guy, though, that I don't want the Yankees to commit long-term to. The most I'd give Cody is 5. But Cody Bellinger, in the past 5 years, I mean, he's been very inconsistent. 2021, terrible season. 2022, another terrible year. A little better than 2021. I believe he played in like 90 games in 21, but in 2022, he had a full season, and he had like a 654 OPS. The Dodgers non-tendered him right after that. They non-tendered him. And he won them an MVP back in 2019. So they non-tendered him after the 2022 season, because that was a bad year for him. He signs a 1-year prove-it deal with Chicago, an 881 OPS. That gives him another multi-year deal with the Cubs. Then another down-ish season, 751. I wouldn't call that a down year, but going from 881 to 751, it's not good. And the Cubs basically said, hey, whoever wants him, they could take him. We'll just dump his deal. And in fact, we'll take on some money. And that's what they did with the Yankees. They basically dumped Cody Bellinger. There's a reason. And I'm not saying that Cody can't be good here. I mean, he showed it last year. He was very good. But you don't want another DJ LeMahieu situation. And DJ, those 2 years he was here before he got that long-term deal, that 6-year deal, he was awesome. 1 year was 2019, yes. The other year was the COVID season, but he was really good. And then the Yankees gave him 6 years. And then we all know what happened after that. The Yankees are still paying him, and he's not even on the team. Same with Aaron Hicks, another guy who you gave a long-term deal to, and it didn't work out. You gave a long-term deal to DJ LeMahieu when he was, a little older, right? 32, I believe. Aaron Hicks wasn't really proven. You gave him the contract because you think he could reach this status, and maybe he could have, but he didn't. You don't want to have a similar deal with Cody where you sign him to a long-term deal and then he becomes inconsistent, where you might get a 680 OPS out of him. I'm not saying that you will. I'm just saying it could happen. He's done it before. In 2024, he had a 751 OPS. He's done it before. So if I'm the Yankees and things are getting crazy for Cody, you got to pump the brakes a little bit and think, is it worth going crazy after him? Or should we go after a guy like Kyle Tucker, who the only thing that I have against Tucker is his injuries the past few seasons. But when he's on the field, he's awesome. He dealt with injuries in the second half last year. He did, which led to him having a poor second half. But Kyle Tucker on the road was awesome. Over 920 OPS on the road at Wrigley. Not the best, but overall last year for the Cubbies, had like an 841 OPS. Still higher than Cody Bellinger's. Cody Bellinger, yes, a tremendous defensive player last year. Kyle Tucker, Look at what Cody Bellinger did for the Cubs 2 years ago in 2024. A similar defensive year to what Tucker did last year. And Tucker, outside of 2025, he's a really good defensive player. He's a really good defensive player. He has that thump in his bat, a top 10 bat in the league. Top 10. And if you bring him over here, that 30 home run hitter that he usually is, it's going to turn into 40, 45. I'm telling you, he's a pull hitter. He's got a lot of pop in that bat. It'll be similar to what Curtis Granderson did with the Yankees when he came over. When it came to power, Kyle doesn't strike out as much as Curtis did. But when it came to power, it'll be similar. And Tucker's going to have a better average than Curtis Granderson. Better on base percentage than Curtis Granderson. He's an overall better player than Curtis Granderson. But my point is, we saw that power that Curtis had because he was such a pull hitter. That same thing would happen with Kyle Tucker if he were to come here. He's a top 10 bat in baseball. He'll hit you 280 and hit you 40 homers. Guess who did that in 2024 for the Yankees? Juan Soto. That's what you need. That's the kind of production that you need. I'm not saying Cody Bellinger can't do that, but what I am saying, Kyle Tucker is more likely of the two to do that and to do it consistently because he has been. When he's on the field, he's consistent. Incredibly consistent. Now, we'll see where the Yankees go. We heard from John Heyman that there is a gap in negotiations, that they are far apart. We'll see whatever the heck that means between Cody and the Yankees. So that's where these other teams are going to come in and try to steal them from us, try to take them from us. And do you know what? If the Dodgers are crazy enough to throw him a 7-year deal, if the Mets are crazy enough to throw him a 7-year deal, if I'm the Yankees, I'm backing up. I'm saying, hey, if I'm going to commit long-term, it's going to be to a guy like Kyle Tucker, who's younger and whose ceiling is much higher offensively than Cody Bellinger's. Just my opinion. But Cody Bellinger's also a guy who hit 47 home runs at the age of 23. So no disrespect to him. He's just been inconsistent, and I'm scared to give a player like him, who's been as inconsistent as he has been, a long-term deal. That's all. I'd rather throw a long-term deal towards Kyle Tucker. And if the Mets aren't interested in him, if the Dodgers rather have Cody than Kyle Tucker because they're more familiar with Cody, if you're the New York Yankees, you have to jump on that. Now, John Heyman yesterday mentioned that if the Yankees were to trade Spencer Jones or Jason Dominguez, they would prefer trading Dominguez. Why would you trade away a guy who last year in the first half of the season played in 73 games, had 309 plate appearances, had a 760 OPS? In the second half of the year, only started in 29 games, and that's because Trent Grisham had a fantastic season, and great for him. He's back with us. But he only started in 29 games. What do you expect Jason Dominguez to do with that small amount of playing time? He got inconsistent playing time, which led to poor play. Now, I know his glove wasn't very good, but Spencer Jones, the guy who hasn't taken a lick up here in the major leagues, who strikes out a lot, 35 homers last year, but a 270 average. Jason Dominguez hits 300 down there in the minor leagues. I like Spencer Jones, don't get me wrong. But you're talking about trading a guy in Jason Dominguez who's shown that, hey, he could cut the mustard up here, at least offensively. He can. He's good. And you want to trade him? Spencer Jones' stock is higher right now. It just is. He had a bounce back season down there in the minor leagues. His stock is back up. I think the Yankees are going to try and see what they could get for him. I really do. I think it would be Spencer Jones being traded over Dominguez. Just my opinion. You probably don't agree with that, and that's totally okay. We're entitled to our own opinions. It's fine. And if I'm the Yankees, that's the route I would go. But listen, guys, let me know what you think down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care.